This camera is overkill for commuting, too heavy for motocross, and it's banned from racetracks.
Look at it this way. They say an adventure bike is the perfect all-rounder, right?
It can transport you to work, go on an adventure, take you touring, and even complete a lap of a racetrack if need be.
But it isn't the best at any of those things. And it's the same with cameras. This Insta360 X5 can film anything you want, but it's only the best choice for a few select scenarios in my opinion.
This is why companies like Insta360 spend years brainstorming and innovating so they could produce the perfect camera for every motorcycling scenario.
I've tested every one of these 5 cameras so that I can share their pros and cons with you, as well as suggest which one I think would be best for your chosen style of motorcycling. Now, I've got 5 different cameras here from Insta360, but keep in mind that they are not the only company that make regular action cameras, 360 cameras, or micro action cameras. So hopefully this video can help you no matter what brand you end up going with. I am just sponsored by Insta360 because they are the best cameras in the world.
A few years ago, I found a cheap Yamaha R1. The catch was that it was a track bike, so I'd have to turn it back into a street bike to suit my needs. But I would be silly not to take it to the racetrack first, right?
However, on the very first lap, I got black flagged because I had a giant action camera on the outside of my helmet.
At the time, I didn't know that cameras mounted to the outside of your helmet are banned for safety reasons. Luckily, I had the Insta360 Go 3 with me. I'd seen other people on Instagram putting them on the cheek pad here behind your visor, which not only makes the camera legal on a racetrack, but also gets a very cool and unique perspective that feels like you are piloting the bike around a racetrack.
Since then, 2 things have changed. Firstly, Insta360 updated that camera with the Go 3S. So now it shoots up to 4K, so the footage looks a lot better.
Secondly, they also brought out a mount for this exact use case, but I didn't have it. So I just took this cap mount, removed the clip part, and used a bit of double-sided tape to attach it to my helmet, and it didn't let me down. The Go 3S also has a replaceable lens, so you don't have to buy a whole new camera if you break the lens. It's only 39 grams without the action pod, so it makes no difference to the helmet's feel, and it has stabilization to make the footage watchable. The downsides are that it films for just 38 minutes without the action pod. Plenty long enough for the average track session, but no replaceable batteries. And the storage is limited and not expandable.
My dream camera setup is an Ace Pro 2 on the chin of my helmet for a POV perspective, and then an X5 mounted somewhere on the bike for versatile 360 footage.
These 2 are basically Insta360's flagship cameras at the moment.
That means the best image quality, the best audio quality, the best battery life, and infinite features. Infinite features that can get a bit heavy. That extra weight doesn't really matter when riding on a smooth road, but when you ride off-road, be it a dirt road, enduro, or even motocross, that extra weight starts to put a toll on your mounts. A heavy 360 camera slowly sags over every bump when mounted with a selfie stick, for example.
And a camera on your chin suddenly weighs a ton over jumps and bumps, and can strain your neck, which is where the Go Ultra comes in. When you get rid of the action pod, the camera weighs just 54 grams. It's so small you can mount it under the peak of your off-road helmet without affecting your vision or the balance of the helmet. The sharp 4K footage is easily mistaken for their flagship camera. Wide handlebars will still be in frame with its wide field of view. It will keep up with the action while shooting 60 frames per second in 4K. And you don't have to baby it because the lens is replaceable.
Keep an eye out and you will see a lot of pros using it, like Billy Bolt for example.
The only downside is that the camera on its own bites the dust in just 60 minutes and doesn't have replaceable batteries, although it charges to 80% in just 12 minutes.
There's a 360 camera on a diet as well. It's called the X4 Air and it's about 18% lighter than the X5, but besides that, you'll struggle to tell the difference.
It still shoots 8K 360 footage, so once it's cropped down, it's just shy of 4K and means you will never miss a moment of your ride. This, paired with a chest mount, was my go-to way to film motocross.
And now the X4 Air is my favorite 360 camera to put out front on a selfie stick on an adventure bike.
Somehow, you can still replace a damaged lens just like its big brother. You can hear your exhaust note clearly with the built-in wind guard. It still automatically gets rid of the selfie stick, and when it dies, you simply swap out the battery and keep riding.
Honestly, I'm not really sure what the downsides are here.
I guess the battery life is shorter, with 88 minutes at full res.
But that is still longer than I can usually ride without a break. It's also cuter than its big brother if that matters to you. Which means that my dream camera setup of the Ace Pro 2 and X5 combination is reserved for street riding, where the road is smooth, so weight doesn't really matter. And for some reason I have this to test that setup today.
Every year, there is a ride called the Distinguished Gentleman's Ride that takes place in literally thousands of locations around the world. The goal is to raise funds and awareness for men's mental health and prostate cancer initiatives by riding classic bikes and dressing dapper.
Triumph Johannesburg kindly let me borrow this Speed Twin 900 for the day so that I could join the ride because I don't have a classic bike. And I honestly love the colors. It is, however, missing a brake disc on this side of the wheel, but it tries to make up for it because it has two exhausts, one on each side. However, it's missing a gear. This only has 5 gears, so it's basically a motocross bike.
It was about a 45-minute ride, so the Ace Pro 2's 180-minute recording time wasn't challenged. It also wasn't very fast since they insist on classic bikes, so there was no need for its slow motion in 4K like when I almost crashed off-road. The sound of about 600 bikes was pretty special, so the built-in wind guard came in handy, as did the wide-angle lens. A lens even wide enough to film an RT, in fact. The Ace Pro 2 is also a beast in the dark, has a replaceable lens, and is easy to frame with the flip-out screen. The flagship X5 is similar for 360. Wind guard, can see in the dark, up to 208 minutes of recording time, and charges to 80% in just 20 minutes. To be honest, I am not very interested in classic bikes, and I can barely spell the word dapper, let alone dress accordingly. But even so, I highly recommend trying it out one year, because it's rather entertaining and the people who attend are genuinely brilliant.
The only downside of these flagship cameras is obvious. They're slightly heavier than the others, and chances are if you like flagship cameras, you'll be excited about the new Mic Pro from Insta360.
There are two flashy transmitters with customizable e-ink displays and a receiver for the camera, all in a lovely charging case.
I've been using it this entire video, so you already know how it sounds. And the last pro is that Insta360 is often running some sort of sale or promotion, so be sure to check out the description for the latest promotion to save yourself some money. Ultimately, all of these cameras have way more features than I can mention in one video, but hopefully this helped point you in the right direction to capture your rides.